I was attacked by a fox last night.
What?
So I was walking back from the pub that I work at with Chewie, and there's a little green a street away from us. He goes for like a poo and a pee there, and he's doing his business, and I see something like run across the green, and it's a fox. It's like staring at us from like about sort of like half a field's length away, and then it just starts sprinting at us. Just full on sprinting. And then, so me and Chewie just start running away. And then we turn around and it's looking at us again. And then it sprints at us again. And so I have to pick Chewie up and I have to kick at it because it was so close, trying to like go at Chewie. And so I run across the road and it's like a street away from us. And then it tries coming at us again. So I just running up the street. And then I think it must have had like cubs or something in the bushes. But it was ready to go, man.
That sounds pretty traumatic.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck do I do? It's following me home. Speaking of interesting-looking creatures.
Hi, guys.
Rob's got his skiing goggles and his hat on at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Hi, chaps. How you doing?
James had a terrifying experience with a fox last night, so we were talking about suburban wild animals.
Oh, wow. Just for future advice, James, the worst thing you can actually do is pick up your dog.
Is that true?
In situations, because then suddenly the dog that's attacking feels that it's been made subordinate to a dog in height and will attack even more.
Maybe that's why it started running across the street.
Yeah.
I didn't know Cesar Milan was a skier. Jesus. Yeah. Knowledge there.
I'll remember that. Thank you.
Yeah, top tip. I mean, I know it's sort of counterintuitive because nor do you want to see your dog sort of ravaged by another dog, but often it can be worse. They can tear off your arm.
Oh, there you go.
So top tip there, yeah. Foxes are dicks, aren't they?
They are a bit dicks. I was just saying my mum feeds them. So like, if there's leftover food, she'll leave food at like 11:30 at night. And when I've stayed at my mum's house, I've heard them like proper having a go outside. And you've obviously heard a fox's bark. It sounds like a 40-year-old aging man has like stepped on a plug socket. It's that horrible of a noise. Yeah. It's just a horrible sound.
So when foxes have sex, I mean, that is horrible. Do you know, is it foxes or cats? I don't know.
Cats. Do you know why they
painful sex?
Do you know why they scream?
Is that cats or foxes?
I think it could be both, but I think it's definitely cats. So when the boy cat, Tom, what they call the boy cat, the cat that was was assigned male at birth, retracts. His willy's got like fur going the wrong way, so the lady cat goes, "Oh, that's smart," and then screams. So,
yeah. But I was once a few years ago in a really hot summer. I was sat up here in this very room, and I had the front door open, all the doors open, all the windows open, the back doors open, just trying to get some sort of breeze through the house, when it's just heavy, humid, hot summer days and there's no air around. And I just sort of sensed something over my shoulder and looked around and assumed it was Scrumpy, our then dog. And then a few minutes later, I looked round and saw a fox just walking down across the corridor upstairs in our house that had been in my housemate's room.
Holy shit.
And I was like, what the fuck? And so I chased it down and it ran outside of the house. Wow. But he'd been in my housemate's room chewing his shoes. He'd come up all the way upstairs, a fox.
Wow. That's a bold fox.
In ancient Egypt, like cats domesticated themselves. Apparently scientists are saying that some foxes are trying to attempt that.
Yeah, you see,
they want to move in and watch Sky.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? They just watch Leicester fixtures, all of them. The RSPCA and all those governing and charity bodies of animals, they're trying to like tell people not to feed them. So obviously, my mum's bad, but there's like loads of videos on like TikTok and YouTube and Instagram of like just middle class stay-at-home moms with like spoonfuls of pate with like foxes out in their back garden pretending that it's like, oh, look how lovely we're doing. And it's like, yeah, but it will like eat your baby, so maybe don't do that.
Our hearts are growing tender by the moment, recalling our childhood. We are home, sip a cup of cocoa in the hour, lemon by the fire. We are home. The smell of snow is the smell of home. Dripping woolen jumpers jumpers by the stove, dripping woolen jumpers by the stove.
We're here a bit early, aren't we, actually, Rob? It's early doors in the clubhouse. It's quite impressive, right? We don't usually get here this early.
I know. And I quite like it this time of day when it's just sort of, you can still smell the disinfectant from the cleaning over the weekend.
Yeah. The locals are already in having a pint of mild at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's just nice to be home, isn't it?
Oh, it's
good to be back.
I've missed you all as well. It's good to be in the clubhouse. It's been a while since we've sat down together and talked through our sporting weekends. Exactly. How was it?
My sporting weekend was sort of nondescript. I mean, we can just talk about it straight away because I'm so excited about it. West Bromwich Albion have been bought.
Oh, has that happened?
Yeah. Sorry, you were skiing, weren't you?
Oh, great.
West Bromwich Albion have been.
I'm really.
Yeah, we've been bought by Shailen Patel for 60 million British pounds, which is a bargain.
Yeah, that's like one player at City.
Yeah, and like you can buy a football club for that. How amazing is that?
Wow.
Yeah, but we've been sold. So we've been bought. Yeah, so we are, Champions League in a couple of years. So that's going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's happening.
No, it's been.
How loaded is said chap?
His dad's worth 2 billion, and him and his dad have bought it. He owns a minority share in Bologna in Serie A, which is quite cool. So he's football orientated. But we're just sort of happy that the last custodian, if you can call him a custodian, has buggered off, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
But obviously, in typical West Bromwich Albion fashion, we played Southampton Friday night, and the news broke Friday afternoon. So then obviously it was a sellout because it was a party atmosphere. We've been bought.
Yeah.
New Horizons, and then we got absolutely tonked by Southampton. I mean, it was only 2-0, but they absolutely creamed us. So that was typical West Brom. So that was good. I've been listening to a lot of cricket. I don't know if you've seen the India,
yes.
Kind of.
So let's talk about that because it's after such a brilliant first test when England were out there, won in India for the first time in Yonkers years. It really set up the series.
Yonkers deers, donkey ears.
It really set up the series, didn't it? And I think, and I was chatting actually to a big cricket fan last week about this, and then they've gone out and they've just BazBalled it again in the next two tests. And without any nuance about playing the situation in the game, India are man down, injured, and they still went out and did stupid things and have blown it.
Yeah. Who's doing ramp shots when we need 500 runs? Can we not?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think
just play differently, play smart.
It's a very bold statement, but the whole argument about BazBall is going to come back, and I think it might have died a death now. BazBall. It was great for the Ashes because it was good fun, but leave Test cricket alone. Some people like Test cricket. They like 5 days of conservative cricket, and then you get to the last day and then need to do stuff. People like that. Just leave it. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it hasn't changed. Sorry, it hasn't given us some great moments, BazBall, but I'm like, leave it alone. I liked Test cricket. So just, you don't need to go all in it.
They're not mutually exclusive things, right? That this is fantastic, like to go out, disarm teams, take them on, put them on the back foot. But then circumstances, conditions change, and you need to react to it. You need more strings to your bow. Yeah. And I think it's just bringing back, call it conservative or just smart, isn't it? If you are 3-0 up in a game, you don't sort of take all the defenders off and keep piling forward. Yeah. You think, actually, do you know what? We'll swap in a defensive midfielder and we'll hold on to this lead.
Very true.
That's just sport. That's just tactics. And this one unconditional way of playing, I think, is dumb.
And it is dumb.
It was great listening to Michael Vaughan ranting about it the other day.
They really are. It really has split a lot of arguments as well. But I've been listening to a cricket podcast called No Balls, and they had Ollie.
You're obsessed with Alex Hartley.
Oh, I love Alex Hartley. I'm kind of scared if one day we ever got her on this podcast, because I'd just tell her my undying love for her. But she's, they're both amazing, Crossy and Hartley. But I'm sort of like, I'm listening through their back catalogue. So they've just beaten Pakistan, the England men's team, and they're talking about BazBall, and they absolutely creamed Pakistan back into 2022, the winter test. And they had Ollie Pope on, and Ollie Pope was saying, we're trying to play this new style of cricket, and we're hoping that it'll catch on for other teams on the circuit.
Yeah.
And, it'll just make test cricket more exciting, more accessible, and people will want to watch it more. And he's scooched forward 2 years, and it's like, nope. Nobody else is doing it. Australia absolutely rinses for it. It's just not it's just not a good idea. I mean, yeah, you're right. In certain circumstances, great idea, but just leave it alone. Test cricket's great. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it has. I mean, I think it's easy to forget how Test cricket was on the way and all the one-day formats were overwhelming everything. People were talking about, is it existential threat to Test cricket? And I think the Ashes series and the English team's style over the last few years has really brought the focus back to it.
Yeah.
But we just need a bit of nuance in it, I think.
Yeah, bit smart, bit savvy. Something else happened this weekend, Rob, as well.
Yeah.
It was at time of recording, it was the BAFTAs last night.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Did you watch?
I didn't watch them. My friend is the producer of it. I also have a mate who works at BAFTA, and I've been fortunate enough to go to the film BAFTAs about 3 or 4 times over the years. I didn't go last night. Didn't watch it. I was back.
What were you nominated for? What were you nominated for, Rob?
I was nominated for most stylish velour tuxedo in attendance.
And the luckiest twat alive award goes to... Probably that one.
But I did get some compliments on my outfits historically from no other than Alison Janner or CJ Craig of the West Wing. Came up to me in the pre-drinks and said, "You look fantastic.
You look great. You look great.
Thanks, Ali."
I'm a bit kind of on the fence with award ceremonies. Sometimes I love them. Yeah. Sometimes I find them incredibly pretentious. Sometimes I think they're needed. Sometimes I think they're incredibly miserable because every speech is just sort of sad. Sometimes, but then other times I'm like, wow, this is life affirming, and I'm probably more this team straight of thinking. It is life affirming. I mean, Samantha Morton won the Fellowship Award last night, and her speech was just gorgeous and life affirming and inspiring. And her life leading up to that moment of her winning that Lifetime Fellowship Award was really, really cool. But speeches are too long. I mean, have you ever done an acceptance speech for an award, Rob?
Good question. When I was referee of the year, National Rugby League referee of the year, I did get to go up and make an acceptance speech. Acceptance speech at the national awards ceremony. I think I was quite young and tried to be funnier than I should have been. I'm not sure it landed as well as my memory of it. It was a long time ago.
How scared were you doing it?
I mean, I love being up front in those situations, to be honest, to my cost. Yeah. I love that sort of stuff. I really thrive when I get put out in those situations. But, you know, when you were award nominated for your Olivier, did you plan the speech?
Well, I've won a What's on Stage award and did a speech live on BBC Radio 2.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Tell us about it.
It was, well, it's interesting you say that because I was going to say, I was shaking like a shitting dog. And you sort of look out and you go, wow, there are some pretty cool people in this room. And it's you've got your piece of paper and you're just sort of shaking and you know it's live on radio and your mum's listening and your nan's listening. Like just try and say the words. But you're not portraying a character, you're being you. And I feel like the extra pressure is quite a lot, and it was quite terrifying. It's on BBC Sounds, that award ceremony from a couple of years ago. A friend of mine actually did like a lip sync over it, and kind of copied me doing it. And the main thing watching that performance of him doing it was just that I really sounded quite nervous, but I tried to be funny, and then I tried to just kind of get off because I sort of felt like you don't want to hear me do this. You just want to get on because you do feel like at award ceremonies, it's like, how many are left? Like, come on, I just want to get a beer.
God, they are long old things. And literally everyone in the room just wants to get to the dinner and drinks thing afterwards. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. And the only person interested in listening to your speech are people who know you. Yeah. Everyone else in the room, everyone on the broadcast isn't really interested in it. And which I always think as well is really fascinating about these award things is the people who present the awards will come on and they often try to be witty.
Yes.
These are people who are trained artists at the top of their game, and they come on and they're either wooden as hell, reading like they've never ever seen the words ever before, and you're like, you could have just put in a couple of minutes prep and read what you were going to say there and learnt the names of the nominees. It looks like you've never heard of these people ever before. Yeah. Or, even worse, they've prepped a little skit between the two of them, thinking that they're going to be quite funny, and it almost always falls flat on its arse.
It's such a good shout. Yeah, it's quite a weird thing for them to do, really. But actors are weird people, if I'm honest with you. we're all sort of scared, insecure little beasts. So, when we're put in front of a camera and a microphone, then it's like, you're all watching me, aren't you? Yeah. But no, it's not. Go away.
And you combine all that with a bit of backslapping and self-congratulatory nonsense that is any sort of industry award focus. It's bloody horrible.
It is
really.
weird. We're a weird bunch.
Yeah.
But the BAFTAs was good. I thought David Tennant did a sterling job, bless him.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, in his kilt.
He did a skit with Michael Sheen at the start. I can't remember what it's called. Over lockdown, they did like those FaceTime TVs, that skit sitcom thing, whatever. They did something like that, which was really good. And I adore Michael Sheen as well. He's an unbelievably amazing bloke. So BAFTAs was good. When did you return from your Italian script? Were you in Italy? Was it Italy?
I was away skiing in Italy. I got back late on Saturday night, exhausted from my travails and excessive skiing, which was just brilliant. I've had such a lovely time. But before we go into skiing and talk more broadly about skiing, just to say Leeds are rocking it at the minute.
Oh, fine, yeah.
Second.
Well, we've done Alps. Talk about Leeds.
Yeah.
What? You're not second, you're third, actually. Oh, no, you are second.
We actually,
you beat Plymouth.
We reclaimed second spot over the weekend. I think Southampton are playing on Tuesday or Wednesday night this week, so they can go back and grab it with a point ahead. But it really is turning into a second place battle between us and Southampton as Ipswich are dropping off, I think.
Do you want me to piss on your chips a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Southampton are the best team we've played at the Hawthorns this season by a country mile.
Really?
Yeah, better than Leicester and a mile, like different league to Leeds. They were... I can't see Leeds taking second. It will be Leicester, Southampton. You'll be playing Coventry or Hull in the semis, and then possibly us or Ipswich in the final. I don't know. That's a bold statement, but I think Southampton are purring at the moment. So we played them last Friday. They lost to Bristol the Tuesday before. Before that game, they were unbeaten in 26 games and had won about 24 of them. It's obscene what they've been able to do.
No, they really are on a roll. But we're playing Leicester this coming Friday night. Leicester lost at the weekend, so the lead is down to 9. If we were to beat them, that would be down to 6, and that could really put a lot of pressure on Leicester, and who knows what would happen.
Cat amongst the pigeons, I think... it's you three. I think Ipswich have cemented a... it's kind of a really annoying, because the Championship's really frustrating sometimes. It's great when it's really, really close. Yeah. But Leicester and Southampton and Leeds... Leicester have run away with it at the moment, at time of recording. Southampton and Leeds... That's for the next automatic spot. Ipswich are just in the playoffs. They're not going to finish second, and they're tailing off a bit. And then there's about 9 teams that can finish 5th or 6th, starting with West Brom all the way down to Watford in 10th or something, or 12th or something. So it is a crazy, crazy season in the Championship. I really, really don't want to play you in the playoff final if we get there.
Oh, God. It'd be great content for the pod, but from a heart point of view, just too much. I think it'd be really, really
Where would we sit? Where would we sit, Rob?
Oh, God. Well, we could really only afford the roof at one of the ends, but maybe we'll get invited.
Do you know what I would suggest? We would have to sit in Club Wembley. The band, the bit in the middle, because we couldn't sit in Leeds or West Brom because we'd just get beaten up.
I've done that before. It's so difficult.
Yeah. So we'd have to sit
difficult to be
in
a
Club
away
Wembley.
fan.
So,
Yeah. Okay, done.
Okay, fine.
The Super League season started this weekend as well. It's always great back in summer sport. Kicked off this weekend, wins for Leeds. St Helens looked impressive. It's good to have London Broncos back in the league again.
You'll be proud of me, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
I watched them.
Did you?
I watched.
Well, because it's back on the BBC, some of the games now.
Castleford versus Wigan.
Oh, yeah.
I watched a bit of that.
There was a sending off in that game, wasn't there? I think it was on a few sendings.
I watched it. I watched the sending off.
You dirty Get Campbell.
Get him off the field! Shove it up yours! You bottlers get... What a magnificent try! Castleford Tigers. I think that's coming up in an upcoming episode if you don't know what that means. But basically, it's some in-house commentary from a Castleford legend. Anyway, there was a red card in it, but because I don't really know the rules that very well, I'm not well versed in rugby, league or union. Yeah. I just, that tackle looked exactly the same as every other tackle I've seen in rugby. It's just two massive blokes just hitting each other.
Yeah. It is slightly, both codes are slightly consuming themselves with the attempt to try and make it a little safer. Yeah. Bottom line is, these are big guys running into each other really hard and quick, and there's going to be injuries and attempts to try and make it a safer sport, I think are a little futile and potentially even more dangerous because people are going in tense, worried about where they can and can't tackle. So I think there's a long way to go in both codes for that. But it's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, very impressive. I think I like League more than Union. It seems
I think it's a better watch.
It is a better watch. It seems more fluid. It seems simpler to follow as well.
Yeah.
And the phases, it's a little bit American football with it.
Yes.
Or rather,
because, exactly. You've got, it's much more about, you see, it's incremental territory gaining, whereas Union can get bogged down in technicalities around lineouts and scrums, and to gain territory, they'll normally hoof long distances, whereas League is incrementally trying to go up the pitch. You'll see more line breaks. You'll get more, I think, ball through the hands. Yeah. You'll get a bit more dynamic, seeing some of these fast, powerful centres trying to break lines a bit wider out. So in that sense, you can definitely see a bit of the American football stuff going on.
I also like it when they're like, they've got the ball and they're like running and then they hit each other and then there's like loads of big hard tackles. And then the guy with the ball stands up, puts the ball down and very daintily just like rolls it backwards. It's quite cute, actually. He's like, like, here goes the ball. It's quite sweet.
Yeah. The pendulum of brutality and finesse, all in a little play of the ball. Yeah, I know, it's really good. Yeah. Speaking of brutality and finesse, the mountains.
Good segue. Yeah. Our segues are getting better, aren't
they? In our own minds. So I got back from skiing.
Are you sure you've come back? Because you're currently wearing a ski hat, a crystal white bobble ski hat with a nice little poof on the top, with some you look like Geordie LaForge from Star Trek.
Thanks. These are my Smith goggles that go with my Smith helmet, and I'm sporting my Hornli-Hutte white bobble hat, which I was donated to. Hornli-Hutte is a beautiful mountaintop restaurant properly at the top of a mountain in Arosa in Switzerland, where I was earlier this year for the Arosa Gay Ski Week, which you'll remember I sort of go on an annual pilgrimage there to ski guide. But last week I was in Italy for the first time in the Dolomites, as I referred to last week's pod. Oh my God, what a fantastic, beautiful resort that was. And it was the first time I've been there, and it's so stunning, like totally different mountain range, rolling, weird, roundy mountains with peaks behind and loads of different topography. I don't really understand. I'm not very good on my sedentary and calcium rock formations. But
I don't think you need to be fair. Just go down the ski slope. But God, such a different environment. It was really, really stunning and had a great time. Yeah. Epic, huge ski area. And as we'll hear in a bit, I really was... Pissed?
No, really pissed, actually, a little bit. I mean, that's definitely part of the culture, and I do love that part of it. But there was just some moments where I was really like, this is as good as life gets.
You really...
really, really are at peace when I'm on a mountain.
I really
love it.
It's sort of like your mental health buzz, really, isn't it? It really brings you back to earth.
It really, really is. Yeah. So have you ever skied?
Have I ever skied? I have. I've never skied abroad. I've never gone on a skiing trip. I had opportunities to go a few times, but I have done... So you've done the Dolomites.
Have you done the Tamworth SnowDome?
Yeah, you've done the Dolomites. I've done the Tamworth SnowDome. But I didn't ski. I snowboarded. I was snowboarded.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that.
Because I used to skateboard as a kid, obviously, because I'm a legend, and I was crap at that as well. I find it it was good fun, but it's very, very difficult and dangerous. Yeah, it's very dangerous. You can't stop.
I mean, it is dangerous.
You can't stop.
That is the fundamental skill to learn early doors. How to stop.
The lesson was like 3 hours with like a break in the middle, and the first hour was like, this is how you stop. I just wasn't concentrating on that, because at the end of the SnowDome in Tamworth, they've got like crash pads. I was well, that's fine. I'll just hit those. But if you're careering down like this, and it's only a tiny little ski slope, if you're careering down at like 45,000 kilometers an hour, it feels like, and you can't stop, the fear is overriding. So you just sort of throw yourself to the floor, but then you realize that your feet are essentially glued to a piece of plastic,
carbon fiber.
And if you go over like one end and you flip, it's just dangerous. Like
it's really
I've told you about this. I have a congenital defect in my right knee. I don't have an ACL. Okay, so that's already gone.
Maybe that helps.
I need the left one. If I snap that one, I'm in real trouble. I'm never going to play football again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've snowboarded once. It's very. I would like to go skiing, and I would like to go skiing with you. Actually, I think you'd prove me how to do it, but it's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, really hard. And I think, but that is part of the thrill. You know, when you have descended, like vertically, 1,200 meters from the top of a peak, and you turn around, you look back, and you think, I've just come down there at 60 miles an hour on 2 bits of carbon fiber.
It's pretty cool.
Felt brilliant.
Yeah.
And you look back, and then, as you know, if you've ever been to an old O'Neill's pub or a chalet set up in a London bar, and you see all the memorabilia and paraphernalia from days gone by, and you see a pair of old wooden skis on the wall and a couple of old wooden poles, a bit of metal binding on there, and you think, wow, back in the day, people came down on 2 planks of wood. Yeah. Obviously now, like all sports, the technology has improved so vastly, and it's, apart from ski boots, which no one seems to have solved at all, they're still just massively cumbersome and uncomfortable. Yeah. But please, come on, ski manufacturers, sort this out. But they are, it's an amazing thing. But I mean, I'm so lucky because I pestered my mum and dad.
I was just going to ask you, how did it start? How did you get into skiing? Because it's not, you're from Wakefield. It's not like you're not from the Alps or something. You're a British lad from Wakefield. How did that come about?
Yeah. Oh, that's there was a famous dry ski slope down in Sheffield that I did go to a few times with my dad. These horrible carpeted dry ski slopes.
Just a note on dry ski slopes, because I've tobogganed down one. If you fall, think about like the worst astro burn on a football pitch times 1,000, and there's holes in them. If you catch your ankle in there, you say goodbye to your foot. Terrifying. Anyway.
Yeah. They're just designed to create havoc, to get a thumb caught in. I think they're designed to really, really put off anybody from actually going out.
There must be a better way to do a dry ski slope than have like carpets with footholes in them that you can break everything in there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's a health and safety nightmare.
So you went to that one in Sheffield.
I went to that one, but I think it all began with the fascination, which I'm sure a lot of people share, is when the Winter Olympics come on TV and you see these beautiful resorts and everybody gets obsessed with the Olympics over the period of time. You discover new sports. You get obsessed with curling. You get obsessed with the exports and things. Yeah, and it's amazing. And I remember specifically watching the Lillehammer Olympics in Norway, which I think about 30 years ago now, thinking that looks amazing. I want to go to Lillehammer. And of course, the infamous Calgary Olympics in Canada of Cool Runnings fame and Eddie the Eagle and all that stuff. And just thinking, I would love to be in these mountains.
Yeah.
And I pestered my mum and dad to pay for me to go on a school ski trip when I was 11 or 12, early doors, like in the first or second year at high school, which they absolutely couldn't afford. These were big, big chunks of their annual holiday budget that they were thinking, we want to go on a summer holiday, all 4 of us. We can't really justify blowing this on letting Rob go away on his own with school and us all suffer back here. And what do we do about Claire? It's not very fair. And they said no. And I pestered and pestered and pestered, and they relented. And I went on the school ski trip, and I am so grateful because it just was a passion born. Yeah. And then I went years subsequently to that. In my gap year, I went skiing in New Zealand. Years later, I went to Canada and did a ski instructor course for 4 weeks. And I've skied consistently over my life, at least 2 or 3, sometimes 4 weeks a year.
Why the hell?
Because it's just my favourite thing to do.
Why the hell are you an actor? What the hell happened?
I'm really just waiting for them to do a Bond movie in the mountains again, where I can be cast as the skiing baddie.
Oh yeah, okay.
Chasing Bond through the mountains in really good, sleek black ski wear, coming through the trees, whipping out a gun and firing at him.
Can you keep your accent as well? Yeah, come here, Mr. Bond. I'll get you. Come closer.
Going through the dry ski slopes of Sheffield, chasing Bond.
He's a good skier, isn't he? Fuck me. Okay, that's a lovely way of getting into to skiing, actually. That's very sweet.
Yeah.
But of course, I think there's something about the Winter Olympics, especially being from Britain. It's like we are sort of fascinated by it because it's so different to what we have over here. Obviously, we don't have historically, we're not good at Winter Olympics. Although having said that, we've picked up a couple of medals. But it is quite magical and very sort of not British, and we're sort of obsessed with it and the way that it looks, and it's very beautiful. I think we're quite enamoured with it.
And I think what's difficult to fully understand, because obviously there is skiing as a recreational sport, of which many, many people around the world do. I mean, let's be honest, it is not a very accessible, financially accessible sport for many, many people. So it is predominantly in the domains of the middle class, let's be frank about it, because it's a lot of money to go out there into the mountains. But as a competitive sport, for countries like Austria and Switzerland, the big superpowers of downhill and alpine skiing, this is national sport territory. Yeah. This is people getting behind them in the way that we get behind our sports, where the stars become public figures, where they're the ones doing all the, advertising campaigns for mobile phones and whatever else it is around the country. So these people really do become the focal point of sport adoration in their country. And the World Cup, there's various different disciplines of competitive skiing. The alpine skiing is often broke down into different events. There's obviously the downhill, which is the big speed event, which is throwing yourself down the mountain at high speeds, descending up to 1,000 meters sometimes in the space of 1 to 2 minutes. And whilst there's turns in those events, it really is about flat out speed you're taking on the mountain. It's all bravery. They've got Super G events, which is a kind of combination between slalom and downhill, where you've got 20 to 30 gates, people going at full speed. They don't get to see these courses. They've just got to throw them down. There's giant slalom, which is about 40 to 50 gates, often down wider turns. And then the slalom events, which is the really technical event when people are whizzing between the poles, super speed on short courses, trying to technically manage the courses that are set. And then there's combined events and loads of sort of stuff. So that's the sort of alpine part of it. And these are huge sports in Austria, in Switzerland. America obviously is big as well into the downhill and boarding events. You've got obviously Italy and France and the Scandinavian countries. But, huge, huge things. So, that's the sort of alpine part of it. And then you've got all the ski jumping stuff, the cross-country stuff, all the freestyle.
The freestyle stuff.
Now cool. Skiing, all the jump stuff, the boarding and the exports, which has really taken it to a next level. And all the resorts you go to these days for recreational skiing, all the competitive stuff, will have big snow parks with jumps and obstacles and rails and cars to jump on and all this sort of stuff where, these kids now are so brave, are loving all that stuff. And it really is, you can really get your adrenaline kicks in all that stuff.
I think I'm a bit too old for that. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, me too. I'm so risk averse.
I wish I was.
Just love being on a big red piste, wide, carpeted. What I mean by carpeted, they groom the piste and it looks like cord in the morning and it just grips your skis and it's beautiful.
You're very romanticised of it. Maybe, and I did allude this to last week when I was saying that you were skiing. I feel like you have missed your calling. You should have been a ski dude, a skier.
Yeah.
But it's obviously very romantic and sweeping majestically through the Alps or the Dolomites and then popping down to the chalet to have a fondue and a couple of pints of local ale or lager and something. But I just can't stand. I wouldn't want to do that with Archie and Tilly from Surrey. Whilst they're pissed and all that kind of stuff. Just get a grip, guys. Fair enough. You're good at skiing. Chill out.
There is that world. I remember going years and years ago to Verbier with a mate of mine, and Verbier is a very expensive resort. It attracts a lot of wealth right across Europe, Russian wealth. And I remember being in one of these après-ski bars, and there was a bunch of wanker, pretentious 25-year-old posh boys all stood on tables with bottles of Verve in their hand instead of glasses. God, they were just handing out bottles, rather than drinking from glasses or pint pots. And there is definitely that world to it. But there is a whole, for me, when you're up there and you're in the most beautiful parts of the world, and then you stop, you ski really hard in the morning, it's exertion, it's the best hangover cure there is, you take in the environment and you feel really at peace. And then you're skiing and talk about mindfulness and being present. You really just have to be where you are. You can't think too far ahead. You can't reflect on what you've just done. You've got to be present in that moment, on that bit of mountain, on those skis, being really focused. And then you do that and you ski hard in the morning, and then you find an amazing lunch spot and you have like a tartiflette, like potatoes and cheese and bacon with a red wine, or as I was in Italy, a fresh pasta up on the mountain, a great bolognese covered in Parmesan cheese with a glass of red wine.
Wait a minute.
God,
you went
so
to Italy
good.
and had a bolognese. Come on, man. You can have that here.
Yeah, but like, oh, I know.
You can have that here.
I do frequently, all the time.
You just go, hold on, wait. Are you the kind of guy that goes, my grandpa, bless him, he, whenever we used to go to we used to go to the same Italian restaurant, and we all knew what he'd order: minestrone to start, spaghetti bolognese for main, and then a tiramisu for dessert. Literally, that's it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that in Italy. You've got to play roulette. Just put your hand on the menu and go, that one. Screw it.
Yeah, I mean, there is. You'll see some sort of Italian chef who's in this canteen up a mountain. He's very proud of what he's whipped up, and he's made this amazing carbonara. And and they pile it on, and they make it feel like he's made it fresh for just you that day. And it is the whole thing. I mean, it is great.
Oh, the English guys here again, so I better do the carbonara and bolognese sauces again.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I mean, as you know, I do some guiding for quite a high-end British ski touring company where they provide amazing childcare so people can go off and have this holiday and they can just dump their kids with other people for a week and have a lovely time. Yeah. And I ski with the adults and take them to some fine restaurants around the mountain. And, you're getting Michelin-star quality food up a mountain. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really good.
That's a bit amazing.
Really, really good stuff. Shall we have a little listen to me skiing? Because I did some recording. Yeah. And, this is me in my peak wanky.
Gushing.
Really taking in the moment. Just for context, I was out in a resort. I explained this, but in Val Gardena has what's called the Legendary 8. And these are 8 runs around the resort that are marked up on the piste map that are all significant in some way. So they're the 1970 Women's World Cup downhill race course. It's the current Men's World Cup race course called the Sash Long, where they compete annually at this. I skied that run. There are old ones where the first run in the 1940s that they created for competitive skiing in that resort. And I skied 5 of the Legendary 8. And this is me. He's on already the first one, the Sur. And it's such a beautiful run. And I was on there by myself with only about 2 or 3 other skiers, about 9 o'clock in the morning, beat the crowds. And this is me just having completed the run.
I'm just taking a pause to stop and take this in because I've just skied part of the Legendary 8, which is a famous route as part of the San Cassiano area and near the Salaronda in Italy. And I've just skied the Sur, which is part of it. And it's a black run, the number 2, and it's a long wide. It's not really a black run. It's a really nice red. But I was one of only 2 or 3 people on the piste. And when you get to the bottom half, you're really amongst the trees. I heard barks of dogs, or were they even wolves? I don't know.
Oh my God, you're Attenborough on the Dolomite.
Tweeting to each other, calling, and sat on the lift on the way back up to the halfway point on my own, just taking it all in, thinking this really is as good as it gets. There's a hanging fog and mist at this level that I've stopped at. The light is flat, the visibility isn't marvellous.
Keats on a beast.
You can still see cross valleys, and the mist is moving quite a pace, and it's eerie and beautiful and romantic, and this really is as good as skiing gets. I truly feel so at peace. I know it's wanky to say, but it's as fulfilling and as centred as you can feel. It's gorgeous. Oh, so lucky.
Oh, did you hear the swish of someone going by me at the end?
No, I'm being glib. I think I'm being glib. It's fucking gushing, man. Jesus. No, I'm joking. It's God. Very beautiful. And I think to be sort of serious about it, I think we all have certain things that we sort of need that are necessary to kind of combat the shitness of life that happens sometimes. This is part of life, and we need something to kind of center us and pull us back to that mindful state. And it's very lovely to see it to hear it in practice as you're on the slopes, actually, because it's very life affirming that we all have, and we all find those little pastimes or hobbies or whatever they are, or ski trips to Italy that kind of bring us back to kind of going, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm back. I feel cool. I feel centered. So it's amazing to hear it. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's totally wanky, but it is true. And I remember actually years ago, I was out in Switzerland and I'd got a call from Bryony Lavery, the playwright who I'd worked with a number of times as an actor. I directed a couple of her shows historically, and she'd done an adaptation of The Borrowers that was being produced up at the Story House in Chester. Yeah. And the director had to withdraw from the project because they'd got a job as an artistic director in a building. And Bryony recommended me to the theatre to say, what about Rob to come in and take over directing it? So she called me and said, would you be interested? And I was like, sure, it sounds fun. Why don't you send me the script? Let me have a read and I'll get back to you. And I was out skiing and Bryony sent the script. In that situation, normally, if I was in London, I would polish off the script in a couple of hours, read it, have a little think, give her a decision. It took me all week to get through the script because I just didn't want to engage with the world beyond the mountains of where I was. Yeah. I was sat for long periods of time on chairlifts, as you do between runs, thinking, I suppose I should think about The Borrowers. And I didn't want to. I just wanted to take in where I was and look and breathe deeply and be quiet or speak to the person I was with. And it took me all week to get through the script and finally make a decision. And I feel like that a lot when I'm away. I don't text my family. I'm not in touch with friends. I find it takes me days to respond to an email that would take me seconds normally. And yeah, I think that's just the power of it all.
Is that why you go away so much? You just don't like your family or friends? Maybe you should get a therapist, Rob, instead of not going away.
I know. This is pretty expensive therapy, I'll be honest. Crikey. It might be easier just to sit in my room on Zoom and
just
talk
get
to
a therapist, mate.
Just have a screensaver of the mountains.
Yeah. No, I'm being glib again. But yeah, I think, I can totally imagine that, and I think we all have those moments that we all have a pastime or something that's sort of sacred to the individual, to us, and you don't want anything to kind of influence or infect or the outside world to come in. And it's very nice to hear you do. I mean, it's quite interesting that well, obviously we've done a podcast about sport and theatre, but as is sport, that little gap from that little space from the real world is sport that kind of gives you that sense of mindfulness, and be that playing cricket in a gorgeous setting in the countryside somewhere here, or skiing or having a fish or that kind of stuff. It is like pure mindfulness, which is cool.
Eating fish,
yeah. Just
fishing.
Yeah. Just if you go down,
just having a piece of battered cod. Is really
get your air fryer out,
really
have
helpful.
3 or 4 fish fingers, and then you just feel really at one with the world. It's really nice.
But I'm also a really good skier. Here's me going down the men's World Cup run, the Sashlong in Italy. Cue James.
So I'm at the top of the Sashlong Men's Downhill World Cup ski race piste here over in Val Gardena side. So it's one of the legendary 8. I've done the top bit, which was a little bit, just getting here to the top of the piste is a bit gnarly. But this actually looks quite good. I don't think it's been pisted very much.
You sound a bit posh, actually. You're putting a posh accent on it.
Relatively busy. Again, the fog and mist. Again, the fog and mist is nicely looming, making it all quite atmospheric. But here we go. Wish me luck.
Did you do it? Did you die? Are you okay?
This is me.
So I just made it down to the bottom of the Sashlong. It was fantastic right-hand bend coming down, which obviously I'm doing loads of turns in, but you can imagine the race is just absolutely tonking it round there. A big, almost, I'd say, probably like 45-degree bend arcing round to the end. And then they come in and you can imagine what the stadiums would look like at the bottom. Really cool with all the fans screaming. But yeah, completed, done. The Sashlong Men's Downhill World Cup ski race. Let's go back up. Where next?
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's really funny. On these World Cup runs, of which there are many courses around in Norway, Switzerland, Austria, Italy, France, North America, that they compete in these World Cup runs over the course of the year. They sort of start up on a glacier in Austria in October time and will go through to March and accumulate points in these races to be the world champion. And then obviously they've got the Olympic cycle every 4 years as well. But I've seen them prepare these courses. Now, this is just open to the public, and it's actually turns out to be just quite a nice run that you can do. But to turn them into the competitive run, they scrape all the snow off it, leaving the ice underneath, the packed ice. Then they will inject chemicals into the run that freeze it even harder, and then they'll let it freeze overnight, and then they do that again over the course of a few days until it becomes sheet ice. And then they inject these chemicals around the side to create the outline of the course. You'll see them if you ever watch Ski Sunday now, with the blue lines around, and they sometimes put a line in to show the contours. And they build all the infrastructure around it, all the crash barriers down the run. They'll build stadia at the bottom, the gatehouse at the top where they come out of, where all the other skiers will accumulate and watch one another. And it is treacherous stuff in those conditions that you would not want to ski on your normal skis. Any person of sound mind anyway, and they throw themselves down these, and they're reaching like 200 kilometers an hour.
Jesus Christ,
at
wow.
top speed, which is just crazy. And you can see when they fall, they are really, they're really in danger.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to mention skiing injuries. They are, you don't just turn your ankle. No. They are bad. I don't know if you've seen the I don't know it's just a viral clip that's gone around. There's obviously a guy coming down a slalom, and he mistimes a turn and takes one of the gates that are made of. Are they made of rubber? They're very bendy, sort of rubbery plastic.
Yeah, they're quite hard plastic. Is what they are. Yeah.
But he'd obviously mistimed the turn and took both sides of this gate in the Gooley Woolies, and the scream that he made. No way, thank you very much. Yeah, they're not very good injuries.
And they are hard. If you whack those with the shoulder, you will be bruised.
Yeah, I can imagine.
If you have the right gear that's in their kit, they've got guards on their arms so that the slalomers will whack the post deliberately to get that advantage. But if you just whack those without any protection, you will be bruised and hurt. So if it goes in that area, wow.
Say goodbye. I mean, they're essentially skiing down in brightly coloured condoms as well. They're not going down in like American football gear, which is apparently what I would need because it'd be terrifying. Yeah. If you get whacked on that, and not cool. I can imagine that was the most painful thing that's ever happened to him. Yeah. Have you had any injuries? Have you had any?
Yeah, I've done both knees. Oh, you've done both knees?
What am I talking about? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I have over the years, and I wear big, heavy straps on my knees these days, as much for sort of, psychosomatic peace of mind as warmth and protection. There's a lot of pressure going through your body on these mountains when you're picking up speed, on your spine as well. And obviously, it's funny. I mean, it's like a lot of sports, but when you're a beginner, which is why it puts a lot of people off, it is a lot of effort, like bad skiing takes a lot of effort. Yeah. And when you get better and better, you become more efficient and more economical, and you can, it actually just becomes a lot more pleasurable, apart from when you're really challenging yourself on tougher runs. And you learn to let the equipment and the mountain do it for you. Like point down the hill is a lot easier.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's usually knees that go, isn't it? Because it's that sort of thing that your body is going one way and the ski is going the other. So the twist and the problems come when you twist the knee. That comes down to the knee. So I feel like I shouldn't probably ski because, I mean, my right leg is just deficient. So I probably shouldn't do that.
No.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But we did right back at the very early incarnation of our podcast when we discussed our list. We did debate and indeed include the Hanekarn downhill race in Kitzbühel, which took place this year. About a month ago in January, and it's notoriously the most challenging downhill race in Kitzbühel, and it is like the FA Cup final of skiing in the sense that it's a classic pitch, a classic race course, notoriously difficult, fast and hard, and the Austrians really go to town. It is party central. They'll all be in the bars, they'll all be in resort in the days before après goes off, and they're drinking all day, they're lining the course, the cowbell sounds are coming out, the hooters are coming out, the flags are out, and this is just a load of piss people supporting people while watching the sport.
See, that sounds
so
great.
Yeah, so great. Next year is something we really need to work together.
I think that's a good
and show. Get you out there, even if it's just on a little nursery slope, doing your little turns down on the green slope, and then we get to the bars and watch the Hanekarn downhill.
Break my ankle. I'm going to break my legs. But yeah,
it's going to be great.
I do feel bad that I have. It is a regret of mine that I've never been skiing properly. So yeah, maybe we should do it. And the Hanukkah sounds fucking brilliant. Sounds like a right pisser. We're doing Tamworth first.
Tamworth SnowDome, Hemel Hempstead SnowDome.
Yeah.
And we shall do a little pre-Hanukkah downhill. I think that'd be brilliant.
That's a good shout.
But if you never have skied before, obviously, I think people assume it's very expensive. It is to a certain degree, but don't be put off. Like, you can get out, you can borrow gear from people. There are cheaper resorts in Bulgaria, in Andorra, different parts where you could really go out, experience all the joy of the mountains, learn to ski without breaking the bank, and then you step up to some of these more famous resorts and really go full on with the experience. But
are there any resorts
I'd really
here?
encourage people to do it. Up in Scotland,
I was going to say,
there
are
are the Cairngorms, Aviemore, Cairngorms, and other resorts which I have skied years and years ago. And I mean, it can be a real mixed bag because you can find yourself with sort of horizontal winds, ice in your face, really, really cold conditions, icy, tricky runs. Not very long runs on old infrastructure, so you're freezing your tits off being dragged up a drag lift in, minus 18.
That doesn't
barren conditions.
That doesn't sound as
it's
romantic.
Not fun. No, it's not quite the alpine trees of Austria and Saas-Fee and all that sort of stuff. No.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it could really put you off for life. I think it is a love-hate thing. The equipment, the situation, people either really take to it and think this is a passion born, or people are like, this is horrific. I'm meant to be on holiday. I'd much rather be on a beach.
I'm grimacing. No, I would rather ski.
I think you're in that category.
I don't do beach holidays. I don't like sitting around doing nothing. I'd rather go to a city or something. So I don't know. Maybe skiing would be good. I mean, the people who have asked me to go with them, and I haven't been able to just for work commitments and stuff, they'd be like, "You'd love it. You'd absolutely love skiing." So I really should give it a go. You're like the fourth or fifth person who said, come skiing with me, so I should probably listen.
It's a great mate's holiday.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You all just get a villa, pile out and have a great laugh.
Yeah, just get pissed. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, we'll do it. So are you happy to be back? Are you happy to be back, Rob? Or
I am, in the sense that I feel like I've been away permanently since December with the American trips and a couple of ski trips already, and I just really enjoying being back home, settling into a bit of routine, being around. That said, I have got one more ski trip in March. I'm going away for a weekend.
Maybe you should try and get an acting job, mate. Maybe you should try and get your acting career back on again.
Shit. Yeah. I did email my agent the other day going, I'm going skiing again. It'd be nice if it picked up again when we get back.
Right.
But we'll see.
Well, it is.
I need to get an advert. There must be some skiing adverts I could get.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. You'd be good at that. Maybe we'll get a job this year. A good job. I don't want to do a crap job.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a crap job.
No, you don't deserve a crap job. You deserve only the best, Jack.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of you, mate.
You are the Matterhorn of actors. You deserve to be at the peak of your profession.
I don't think that's true. Maybe I've already peaked. No, I don't think I have. I'm a bit of a late bloomer, maybe. So I think I've got... My career is going to be better in its... What's the word? What's the opposite to infancy?
In its autumn.
Yeah, my career is going to be... Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're going to be the Jim Broadbent of your generation.
Oh my God,
when it comes to fame in his 40s and 50s.
Patrick Stewart.
That'd be good,
Patrick Stewart only became Patrick Stewart when he was 43 when he got Star Trek. That's when his career kicked off.
Yeah, I've been telling myself that for 20 years as well.
He said he only became Patrick Stewart when he was 50. What was his name? Derek?
He was called Brenda before.
Yeah, Brenda Stewart.
Oh, right. Well, off for a ski yogurt. Do you remember ski yogurts? Yeah.
That was Grandstand, right?
Ski Sunday.
Oh, Ski Sunday.
Ski Sunday. Not a yogurt advert. All right, boys. We'll have a lovely time.
Sand, I'm off. Good lad.